I think this is the roughest 3 minutes that we've ever recorded.
Blockhead Printing. For all your custom nerdy shirt printing, cons, parties, or gaming clubs, this is a full-service, badass screen printing company. Check out blockheadprinting.com.
Welcome to Comically Gaming episode 112, the weekly talk show where we discuss our obsessions and the week's news around them. A games, comics, and culture production. Catch new episodes every Tuesday, and please consider supporting us on patreon.com/GCandC. You can help us improve everything we do for as little as $1 a month.
This week in Comically Gaming, we mourn the loss of Steve Ditko. Jared Leto plays Morbius. Geralt comes to a tabletop RPG, Gideon Falls comes to TV, and Google gets into gaming. We spotlight Nancy K. Duplechain, the fantasy author of the Dark Trilogy, and wrap up the show breaking down Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What's up?
Hey, we're back.
We're back, baby!
The band's back together. It's been a while for us. It might not seem like it to the viewers, but
Where's that
I feel
tan?
like it's been forever. It's there. I was so pale that it's hard to notice.
We noticed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could show you like my boxer tan line, but I don't know if you want to see.
Yeah.
Because of all the
So-
people sitting at the pool, Corey was sitting in the shade.
Y'all look like y'all had fun, man.
Yeah,
That looked
you
like a
did.
great time.
Yeah,
It was.
great. Yeah. Me and Nate were in Florida last week. We also went through 4th of July. It's this is normally where we do our week, but I guess we'll do our couple weeks. It's I'll kick it off.
Do it.
The games. We'll start with video games. I guess I don't know. I bought Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well, it's all right, but Nate is somehow pretty good at it. So.
I don't want to gloat or anything, but undefeated is the term.
It kind of took a little bit of the fun out of it. So
Wow.
it's,
Undefeated
that
in Mario
hurts.
Tennis.
Corey has a
hurts.
curse for sports games, it
Rushing.
seems like.
Nate, I'm undefeated. Nate's undefeated against me. So
Wow.
I need to practice up. My buddy from work actually got it too. I didn't know until I got back, and he wants to play me, and he acts like he's pretty good. So I need to practice up, play that more.
Yeah, people are bitching about the single player in that game. Have you played that at all?
Yeah, I thought it was cool so far. It's
You
just
liked it?
Yeah, it's just stages against different opponents that teach you new moves and stuff.
I've heard a lot of people act like it's boring and then the moves you get weird experience ups and stuff, but everybody agrees that the multiplayer's on point.
Yeah, multiplayer is the bomb. It was actually that vacation was the first time I really took my Switch and played with multiple people, and we stayed at a condo for 2 days when we were in Universal, and we had 3 people, each of us playing with a little mini-ass Joy-Con on Mario Kart on my Switch. So
your screen's like
screen,
this big.
each screen was about this big, but it was playable. It was really cool. It upped my recommendation for the Switch because the screens were tiny, but it was better than nothing. We had a fun time playing for sure. It was cool. It was a cool experience for sure. I mean,
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I bought Atelier, Liddy, and Sewell, I think it's called.
Okay.
Which is the third part of the Atelier series on my Switch.
That cannot be what it's called.
It is.
I'm looking it up right now.
It's Atelier, Liddy, and Sewell, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Paintings is the full title, I think. Something like that.
The Sewell part sounds weird.
En Sul.
Sue. They call her Sue in the game.
En Sul.
Yeah, but it...
What's the full thing again?
En
Atelier,
Sul.
Liddy, and Sewell, the series. Alchemist
En
of the
dessous,
Mysterious
like
Painting.
Fool.
En is en in French.
In France.
They call her Sue, S-U-E, when they're talking casually. But,
Right.
whatever.
Well, you see en
Let's
is
go.
en. It's not in.
Wow.
Third game in the series after Atelier Sophie and Atelier Ferris. And I really like it because I know all the characters now and stuff, and I just like shitty JRPGs. But
Yes, you do.
but it looks like shit on the Switch, which is unfortunate. I'm pretty sure my buddy at work actually said it's on Vita and PS4, and I think it's a Vita port. They took the Vita version and put it on Switch.
Oh.
Yeah, and it looks like garbage on there. It does not look as good as it did on my PS4 at all. It's like fuzzy. It looks like crap. And I still enjoy it because I like all the characters and stuff. But I wish I bought it on my PS4.
Right.
So, other than that, I've been playing Tales of Berseria on PS4. Which is really cool. It's the first Tales game I've played, another JRPG, and that's been great.
Yeah, I've never
else?
played a Tales game either. They've been going on since like PS1 days. I'm pretty sure. I've always been eyeing them up on the shelf there, but I haven't checked one out yet.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell it's lower budget. It's better than Xeno. No, not as good as Xenoblade, but better than like Atelier Sophie. Right. It's in between, but it's good. It's fun. And what else have I played? I don't know.
All right, roll with it.
Other than that, I haven't read any comics. I'm way behind. You
haven't read Saga yet?
53? No.
Dude.
I know. I need to read.
You gotta get out
Bat
there.
and Batman.
You gotta dodge those spoilers online if you. I mean.
Yeah,
Just get to it.
Yeah, get to it.
Yeah, but I've been watching a shit ton of anime.
Oh Lord.
It's
What we got?
Derby girls.
So it's over. Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, I saw the season finale.
Yeah.
And
Man,
how does that affect the overall?
It was.
Did you cry?
Honest. Yeah, dude, I cried for so long. And it wasn't even like a super sad ending. I was just so sad that it was ending. Like, it was, oh my god, it got really emotional. And
I finally watched it, episode 1.
yeah, you say you did.
What do you think?
It's
I don't know. I didn't get a good description from. I guess I imagined it was something different than what he described it as, but I actually liked it. I mean, it does have the weird sex stuff, like I mentioned last week.
I
But
denied there was weird sex stuff in it.
No, in the
maybe
first
not for the
episode,
general,
that's what I said. You just need to get the first few episodes are weird, and you need to keep watching. Just when you first see how they hook up with their mechs and stuff, it's kind of
sexual.
It's sexual.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of overtly sexual.
So it's like sexual sexual.
Yeah, sexual. But no, I liked it. I'm definitely gonna check out second episode. So
yeah. So yeah, it's over.
it's
Really?
action packed too, a little bit.
Oh, it's super action packed.
Yeah.
That's awesome action. And then it goes to like slice of life for like the middle of the season, and then
I thought it was all slice of life for some reason when you first described it. I didn't know about the action part.
It's not my typical genre, to be honest. Like when it comes to watching anime, I like straight up slice of life, and it has a great combo of action and slice of life, and just it's
good.
It's a great show. And
You got some comments on the shirt when we were at Universal.
Yeah.
I got 3 comments on the shirt while we were at Universal, and they were all from workers. So I feel like the workers hang out and watch anime together. But sure.
I got one on the GCandC shirt on the
Nice.
Comically Gaming.
Oh,
one.
nice.
It's the very last lady who checked me out when I was buying souvenirs at 10 o'clock at night when they're kicking you out of the park.
Yeah.
I thought, damn, I went the whole day without anybody commenting about it. And the last lady was like, so what is that, like a TV show? I was like, yes. Let me tell you.
20 minutes later, they're like, sir, you got to go.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I finished watching Seven Deadly Sins, which was also really, really great. That show's awesome. And then that was 24 episodes, too. Both of those are 24-episode shows. They went 2 seasons long. So, and then I watched the whole first season of FLCL, Fooly Cooley.
Yes. I looked it up after you mentioned it to me, and I remember that my friend Alan sort of said the same thing that you said about it. It's really trippy.
Yeah, it's trippy. Definitely watch the first. The first season is great. And the reason I started watching is because there's 2 new seasons that came out, and they're being released on Adult Swim, and they're English only, and I can't fucking watch them. I watched the first season in Japanese. It was awesome, and people are saying that the new ones were recorded in English, but they're fucking wrong. Like, there was this whole conversation where, like, the girl was coming downstairs to her mom, and her mom was telling her how it's not polite to not say, how it's not polite to not say good morning when you come down the stairs. And I'm like, no, that is not original English. Like, she's not. Yeah, she's supposed to say Ohio gozaimasu, like, and doesn't say that, like, and it's supposed to be Japanese for sure, and it's not. It's English, and it's weird, and so it sucks. I think there's the Japanese versions coming out in November, and then I'll watch the new seasons. But the first season was awesome. And then I watched a few episodes of the summer season just started last week, and nothing great yet. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's it. That's
Cool.
my week.
Wow.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I am 2 episodes into Preacher, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh,
And
God. It's
Continue.
phenomenal.
the greatness.
Phenomenal. It's still my favorite. Now, I'm going to wait and see and judge it as an entire season at the end and put it up against Legion, because that's sort of my... I go between those 2 to see who's going to win, you know? But right now, I mean, it's really one of the best TV programs.
Yeah, me and Amy started watching it. We're 7 episodes in on season 1 now. And I just love watching it again. They make so many cool references to shit that happens later. It is really, really cool to watch it again. And she loves it too. She was talking about how, you know, when it started, she said she was very turned off by the pilot. That the pilot makes it seem like just super actiony. And if you remember when they launched it, the advertising campaign was that fight that Tulip has in the car in the cornfield. Like, that was what they showed on commercials and stuff over and over again, and my wife is not into that. And she, like, once she got, like, 2 episodes in, and she's like, wow, this story is awesome. You're totally right. I totally should have been watching this. And, you know, so it's cool. We'll be caught up pretty quick. We watch a couple episodes a night when we can. You
want to know some not insider info, but I just read yesterday that Dominic Cooper and Ruth Negga were dating, have been dating since 2010, and they just broke up in April of this year.
Really? Huh.
I don't know if that's going to affect storylines or not.
Right.
But
who is that?
That's
That's
Tulip
Jesse and Tulip.
Yeah, Jesse and Tulip. Yeah,
Really?
they were dating in real life for close to 8 years. But it's Hollywood. We'll see. I also watched Animal Kingdom on TNT. I continue to watch that. It's the best crime drama on TV by far. In terms of games, I'm still plugging away at God of War. I'm actually doing all the side missions.
Oh,
wow. And
why? You don't have enough time for all that.
I just enjoy them, man. I love the side missions.
They are good.
They are good.
Yeah.
Even those really hard ones.
Yeah, well,
But
there's
I
one
won't
that I
spoil.
can't. Yeah. Anyway, but and then I got Pinball FX, several tables on that. My wife is full-fledged gamer, 100% now. You know, mouth agape when she's hitting the controller, like staring and
Total-
burning eyes at the end.
Total
So,
focus.
yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know that was going to happen.
You got to
And
get
then-
her own profile so she can post separate scores from you on the
Yeah.
pinball
She's
game.
got one. How do we jump between the two if we're playing the same game?
You don't. You just take turns going back and forth. When you're going to play single player and to post a score, you log into your own profile.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
what I have to do.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then, real quick, like 2 or 3 weeks of comics, I think. There's too many to pick a comic of the week. So I just, real quick, Saga 53, as Nate and I were just saying, just fucking incredible.
Yep.
Your
You were
classic.
just talking about how it's kind of slowed down or whatever. This one
Yeah.
blew the roof off.
It's like he wrote that in response to us saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic BKV twist, emotional landmine material.
Ugh, what happens?
Wait till you see.
God.
Yeah, gotta read it, dude. I read Man of Steel #5, which is, in my opinion, a little bit of a step back with Bendis and Superman, but it wraps up next issue, so I'm pretty confident he'll return to form. And I think he's actually going to be writing just straight Superman next after this. So Superman #1. Then my other two favorites were Catwoman #1, which is after the wedding. Don't read Catwoman #1 unless you've read Batman 50.
Okay.
But Catwoman 1 was fantastic. Joelle Jones does the artwork and she writes it. Just phenomenal artwork. And then my other favorite was Venom #3, which is, I think right now for me, the best Marvel book in the.
Nice.
And I never would have picked Venom in a million years to be a book I cared about.
Right.
But he just took it in a crazy. If you're into like Aliens and H.R. Geiger, or
I am.
you're into like the original Predator movie, totally get in on that book.
Yeah.
That's my week.
Nice.
Nice.
It's been, seems like I've been a long time. A lot of weeks to go through.
A lot of weeks.
A lot of weeks. A lot of weeks. So,
Hit him with the Jeff.
I've been playing, a lot. I've been playing, because I played a lot of Watch Dogs 2 after the stream
Okay.
on Sunday, a couple weeks ago.
I had a
And-
crowd of people in my office watching that stream at work this
Really?
week.
Wow.
Yeah, because I put it on in the background. In that one, we had like 4 people who were in my office, and usually it's just on in the background. Everybody's talking around the desk, and
Yeah.
everybody was turned around watching it, talking about it, comparing it to GTA, all this stuff.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
yeah,
That's
it's fun.
awesome. Well, I died a
Yeah.
lot, too, so that wasn't
Yeah.
my best.
No, that trippy scene was great. That
Yeah.
to me,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that too.
the
At Burning Man or whatever?
kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, that
Yes,
was a
Burning
pretty
Man.
good,
yeah,
you watched the stream. It's great.
Yeah, check it out.
it's crazy.
It's different than GTA in certain ways. It still has the bad aiming, though, the GTA
Oh, yeah.
has. Yeah,
It
Right.
drives me crazy. They
Yeah.
got to fix that.
they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all good. I was trying to beat it because I thought, I'm pretty far into the story, and no, dude, it just keeps going. I'm like, holy crap. But I can't.
Jeff, I gotta digress for just a second. I gotta say it again. If Red Dead is like that, it'll be a major bummer to me.
Yeah.
I hope that they fix that shooting for Red Dead. If
But
they,
you're still gonna beat it, right? You'll go through it or what?
I don't know.
I mean, it depends. I didn't beat the last one. I've only played like 4 or 5 hours
But
into that
here's
first
the
game.
funny thing.
What?
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing, though, is GTA is Rockstar. Watch Dogs is Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Completely
right,
different,
right. Totally.
They have
You're
a lot
right.
of the
Yeah.
same
I just had to,
mechanics.
because you brought up bad beat GTA shooting, I had to say
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
that'll make or break Red
But,
Dead for me.
Watch Dog has a lot different things that you can do besides rather than GTA, because with Watch Dog you get like this little jumper car you can drive around, RC car you can drive around, and it does stuff for you. It can hack for you, and then you can get the drone that flies around. You can scout out.
That's sweet.
Check out stuff. So I don't know. It has a lot of pros over the cons. Okay, drop a can. So I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for my Switch, and
Nice.
Look at you.
I played about 3 hours. I'm not a fan of the combat so far. I was hoping it would change.
Yeah, wait for it. It gets way better.
Does it? Okay, because I'm 3 hours into it, and
That's a long fucking game. It's like 80 hours or more.
Yes.
But the combat definitely evolves. It gets way better.
All right. Oh, it's all right for so far. It's funny that they have like Scottish accents. For the most part. And they say MEH meh a lot in there, but the way they say it,
my God, my favorite word.
It kills me, dude, how they're saying it. And then I was playing. I got pinball. I was playing pinball a lot, trying to beat Dirk's scores, and
we're gonna go back and forth. I know this.
He taught me on.
I'm gonna crush once I get playing.
What? Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Because I just beat Dirk's score on Last Jedi board right before this show.
I didn't think I could get close to 40 mil, and I got 65.
That was Back to the Future.
Yeah, but it was the classic single player, which means I didn't have any of the upgrades.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crush.
You're gonna crush.
Just wait.
And then after last weekend's stream and tonight's stream, when I started playing Assassin's Creed, I was hooked into it also because I was really pissed about.
It looked good.
I was really pissed at how they changed the game mechanics so much, but after really focusing on playing, it's starting to really grow on me.
You're back. You're sold.
Yeah, the storyline's really starting to get really good. I'm 25 hours into gameplay, and the coolest thing was, I think what really just like, okay, I'm going to keep playing this, is I found this random side quest, and when I ran it, it was a puzzle quest, and the reward was a crossover from Final Fantasy, so that's why the camel looks like a chocobo. You have, you have the ultimate blade, and then the shield from Final Fantasy.
That's awesome. That they would cross over with Square is weird.
Yeah, I know. It was really strange. That's why I was like, what is going on? Because I was like, that dude looks like from Final Fantasy 15. What is he doing in this game? And then they hand you these weapons, and I was surprised at all the loot you got out of this quest. Right. Because they're all legendary weapons, and that's like the highest you can get in the game. And you can upgrade your weapons you have. If you got some that you really like the stats on, the special abilities, you can just sit there and pay money and upgrade those throughout the whole game to stay with you so you're not constantly swapping stuff out all the time.
Right.
So I was shocked at everything I got on there. I read Batman number 50, and it took me a while to figure out how to read it because the way it's laid out. That
was my issue.
It was different, and so once you break those two apart and read them separately, it's a lot better than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And what else I read? Oh, I read The Realm 7. It's still
the cover of that looks awesome.
The covers are. And I won't spoil it number 6 ending like Dirk did. And
What?
The end of number 6. You called it out and you're like, oh, you didn't tell me they had this. And no, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, no. Just that there was something in the issue, a creature.
I know. But it's starting to get better.
I was just joking about spoilers.
I didn't think anybody would know what it was, to be honest.
I know what it is.
You knew.
I knew. And, well, I just been cleaning up DVR.
I love spoiler talk.
And I watched that movie, Ant-Man. I bought Ready Player One. And
I'm gonna watch it.
It's a good movie, dude.
We'll watch it once it's runnable.
Movie.
Yeah.
And, well,
I think that'll be like a week from now, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah. It's really good, and I know you were pissed that they changed a lot from the book, Nate. But
I haven't seen it, so I'll reserve judgment.
It was. I liked how they changed it, and then as I was telling Dirk, the homage to Stanley Kubrick in the movie is awesome.
Yeah. That is insane.
Super awesome.
Like what? Well,
right. Not going to tell you. Not going to do it. And I think that's it.
All right.
That's it.
Well, do it
Nader,
to it being
bring it
2
on.
weeks and me being on vacation. I did a lot of weird stuff. I have deleted everything that we've already talked about because I got so much shit here to talk about. So I'm gonna cut it as quick as possible. But on the plane flight out to Florida, took one of the kids who now has a cell phone, said that I could have his 2DS for the flight out and back. And so was playing some old games on that. Monster Hunter 4 on the 2DS, 3DS, is incredible now. When I had tried to get into it in the past, I never kind of broke the code of how you play Monster Hunter, and I just would play a few hours and quit on all those games. Now that I know how to play Monster Hunter, to go back and play, it's totally awesome. And that game has shockingly good graphics for the 3DS. The monsters look really detailed. It might be the best graphics on the 3DS that I've seen.
Wow.
But once you just slip on the Monster Hunter shoes and do it, it's totally was a lot of fun. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. It's a 2D Zelda game that came out on the 3DS. That definitely was my favorite of all the 3DS games I played. That's a really good game. I broke into Zelda in the 2D games as opposed to Ocarina post 3D style, and just the puzzles and the story and everything about it. Really, really great. Can't recommend it enough. If there's one game that I'll take away and keep playing after this, it'll be that one. And then Metroid, the Metroid game that came out last holiday season, Samus Returns.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's called. It's like a remake of Metroid 2 that was a Game Boy game.
Yeah.
And it has a really cool art style to it. Was a lot of fun. It's different than I kind of grew up on the first Metroid and the Super Metroid, and then I played like Metroid Fusion, and they're all kind of the same how you progress through the story.
Yeah.
This game is like, she lands on this planet and has to exterminate like 44 Metroids. And there's not much more story other than that. It's just finding them around the maps, and then you have little boss fights with each one and stuff. Really cool. Really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, 2DS is $80.
I know. I'm thinking about it.
Actually, the price of that, and it's got this gigantic library of all the first DS games. There's tons of good RPGs on the original DS.
You know what I was thinking?
You know, I was thinking,
Nate, is because I don't have a Switch. That might be the next best thing for me to get.
Yeah, it's $80. I'm honestly, after this vacation and playing a Switch more, I'm more kind of would possibly lean towards getting a nice 3DS, like the $200 one that they have right now. Or it's a 2DS, because I don't care about the 3D, but the $200 2DS that's big, it's the XL. Yeah, right. And it's got the flip cover instead of the wedge, like the stupid 2DS. I would consider the library is just so huge, and I've got probably 20 games sitting on the shelf over there that I haven't played all the way through on it. So I've thought about that as well, Dirk.
Sweet.
Definitely. Then the Switch, spent not enough time as I wanted to, but definitely a couple hours after everybody went to bed with Corey's Switch, and other than talking about the fact that I'm undefeated in Mario Tennis, no one who has ever played me has ever beat me in it. I finally got to play Golf Story. Was honestly a little disappointed in it. I don't know. It seemed the way the characters talk to each other was a little weird. I didn't get that deep into it, so I can't judge whether the story is good or not. Part of Golf Story, and then the golf. It's weird to me that. It kind of bugs me too much that the putt doesn't start from where the ball lands when you're shooting your approach shot.
What do you mean?
You shoot your approach onto the green, and then when you go to putt, your ball's in a different spot. Like, they always pull you back a little bit. I had some badass approaches, and they take you back.
Oh, you're wrong about that.
I know that happened to me. It was weirded me out.
I never noticed that.
Next time we're together,
I beat the game.
We'll have to see, because it was jarring. It was jarring to me. Played some Mario & Rabbids. Mario & Rabbids is exactly what I thought Mario & Rabbids would be. I do like those kind of games, and it's a good one. Zero reason for Rabbids to be in it. I would way more be excited about it if there were not Rabbids. If it was just Mario crew playing. I know Ubisoft made it, so that's their thing. But I just got to say that, like, for me, if it didn't have Rabbids, slam dunk the second I got a Switch. With the addition of Rabbids, there's some other games I'm going to look at first.
It goes on. It's also the only game with Nintendo characters that ever goes on sale, though.
Yeah, still.
Did you play Odyssey at all?
I've played Odyssey before, so I didn't. I was trying to play all the games that I hadn't played yet that I really wanted to check out with it. And then the final one, definitely my highlight of my time with the Switch was the Octopath Traveler demo. That was really cool, I thought. You played the stripper, right? Yep, I played the stripper. Her story was cool and shockingly not politically correct in 2018.
Yeah.
But the graphics are so cool. Once you start fighting in the dungeons, I just really liked that old school fight to it. It just felt totally natural, felt fun. I don't know. I was totally down with Octopath Traveler. That's definitely my highlight of my time with the Switch for sure. Then I got home, back to my PlayStation 4. I was allowed myself a day to veg on the couch after traveling, and played 3 games. Assassin's Creed Origin. I really have only played probably a half an hour into it.
Oh yeah,
did not enjoy that first half an hour. So
it's not very far.
Yeah, of course, but I'm gonna give it more of a chance at some point later. But it didn't blow me away for how much everybody's been talking about it.
Oh yeah, I bought Rogue. Have I talked about that on the show?
No,
not.
I bought Rogue.
Yeah. I was playing that right before I left on vacation. I know Jeff loves Assassin's Creed, but I just felt it seemed like a dated game, and I just feel like it felt like exactly like every other Assassin's Creed I've ever played.
Rogue came out right when the
it's a
PS4,
remaster. Yeah.
Well, it came out on the PS3 when the PS4 dropped, and it got forgotten. That's why it feels like that.
Yeah, the same year as Unity.
Yes.
Came out on the next one.
No, Black Flag.
Nope.
Is it?
It wasn't. Black Flag was before.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay.
So the two other games I played, Moonlighter. Anybody play Moonlighter?
No.
That Corey. I thought
played the
did.
shit out of it.
Yeah.
Moonlighter's great.
I want
awesome.
to get it. That's my next game.
Yeah, really, really cool. I mean,
anybody play Moon? I fucking bought it, so obviously I've played it.
I didn't know you
talked about it. Actually.
Oh, you didn't know I bought it? You just happened to have it?
I thought that was in PlayStation. I thought it was a PlayStation Plus game, to be honest.
No. He talked about it. Well,
no, it was not.
I don't know if we talked on the show about it.
I bought it. I loved it. It's a great game.
It's really great. So for those of you who don't know about Moonlighter,
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. But for those of you who don't know about it, it's you are the shop owner at the town outside of dungeons that adventurers come through to go to the dungeons, and you supply them as they're going through and stuff. And then at night, you moonlight as an adventurer yourself. You like the
artwork.
Yeah, you're a shopkeeper that has dreams of being a real adventurer, and the two parts of the game are both great. The shopkeeping part and selling stuff is cool, and the mechanic where when people come in, they look at your prices and they're either happy or not happy with it, and you adjust accordingly to it, and then you can flood the market, which will make you have to lower your prices if you sell too much of the same thing. Like, it's really fun and interesting. And then the other part of it, the dungeon crawl part, is just as fun too, and the way that they switch back and forth, it makes you want to, like, okay, I'm just going to do this one more half a day. Okay, I'm just going to do this one dungeon. Okay, back to the shop. I got this new cool thing I want to sell.
I stayed up way too late.
Yeah.
Plenty nice playing that shit.
It's got the hook, for sure. And then the last one is Pillars of Eternity. I'm completely blown away by Pillars of Eternity. I did not understand how much I've tried to play several games like Pillars of Eternity recently in the past few years, and none of them are even come close to being as good as Pillars of Eternity is. It's exactly what I want out of that game. I've never played anything that felt more like a D&D adventure than Pillars of Eternity. Just the whole setup and the way that the story takes place, and there's a lot of reading, but it's not just a box of text that's reading. They actually throw in animations and different music and stuff, and the music, can't talk enough about the music. It's really, really good. Just has really blown me away, probably to the point where break my normal kind of video game playing rules and stop playing God of War and start playing Pillars of Eternity in my free time, because I want to play it way more. It's way more fun. It's way more fun than God of War to me right now. So
now that you bring that up,
yeah.
Okay, first off, Jeff has bought Zelda on a second console and stopped playing it, and you still haven't beat it on the first console you own. Plus Persona, what happened to those? You talking
They're
about God of
still
War?
on my big list. I still would rather play Pillars of Eternity today if I want to put something on.
You're never going to beat them.
Corey, I'm going to finish God of War before I start anything else. I'm vowing that to you right now.
It's pretty bad that Dirk's going to beat God of War before Nate.
I just got to. I mean, this truly is the busiest year of my entire life as far as like the real life shit that I got to take care of, and I just have no time to play games this year. And I gotta throw up the white flag to it at this point, and I'm not gonna beat any game. I'm not gonna, if I just sit down and focus on God of War, I'm not gonna beat that until Christmas time, with the amount of free time that I had to play games. I'm telling you,
beat that shit in like 4 days.
You know how much time I had to play games this week? 0.
If he's that busy, he should just be allowed to play whatever he wants.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna throw stuff on here and there.
There's hours you can make.
Literally when the work week starts, I sleep 6 hours a night, and I hate it to death. That I just feel terrible the whole work week because I don't get enough sleep, and that still doesn't involve any free time for video games. So I just don't have the time to commit to any big game right now. So I'm going to start playing Pillars, because if I get a half an hour here or there, that's what I'm having the most fun with right now.
Let me ask you, you can just put it down for a little bit. It doesn't trap you in a time warp, sort of like God of War does, right? Like you can just.
What do you mean?
It doesn't have that hook.
God of War,
it does, but I don't have any choice.
Yeah.
I don't have any choice. I don't have big gaps of time to play games right now, and I'm sick of just playing little arcade style games.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? To me, that's just what I'm yearning for right now. And you're right. I get a half an hour into it and then forget what happened that last half an hour by the next time I play it. But it doesn't matter because it's so cool when you're playing it.
Right.
It's just I just can't say enough about Pillars of Eternity.
Part 2.
Yeah, and then also
it's
books.
A long week.
I know. I finished finally The Witcher, The Last Wish, and Wish. And the Last Wish. Oh, I won't spoil it. Never mind. I was almost going to spoil something and thought better of it.
Oh, look at
Were you about to just say what The Last Wish was?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because it's so great. It's so great. But yeah, that if you are into The Witcher, you have to read them. It's incredible how closely linked it is to The Witcher 3. Anyways, it blows me away.
See, now he's spoiling The Last Wish.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Then I read Corey's copy of Sword Coast Adventures and liked it so much that I bought it as soon as I came home because I had to have it myself. This is really good. You guys should both have this.
What is it?
Sword Coast Adventures Guide.
Oh.
Yep.
Dirk has it. He's
got it
for it.
Oh yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
really
dude, I'm so behind.
Not?
I mean,
I've already spent $350 in just D&D books.
It is great though. I talked about it on the show actually.
I know you did.
It's Faerun as great as you'll get it in detail. I mean, it's the best reference guide for Faerun that's out.
Yep, and then finally the last thing is Cyberpunk 2020.
Oh.
Read a good bit of Cyberpunk 2020, and I'm mad. And I'm not disappointed. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. You said it before, Dirk, and I kind of agree. It's weird that they picked this one. The stuff that is not good about it is like it was written in the 80s, and it feels like the stuff that's said like feels like it should be said by like the movie announcer voice guy. It's all like, you are, the cool stat is about, the clothes you wear because you're the hippest dude in town. And
right.
When you go into a firefight, it's double guns blazing, and it's written in that tone, and it's hard to get past. But
dated.
Yeah, right. It is dated, but even being dated, like I was reading some old second edition Player's Handbook, and it didn't feel like cringy like this stuff does.
Oh, that's holy text right there.
Yeah. But that being said, they do this really cool thing.
Stop saying cringy like you said.
I'm happening with it now.
Fratricide.
The Cyberpunk has good fighting rules for shooting. I mean, it has good shooting mechanics for playing. I'm playing D&D. I don't, other than ranged spell attacks, it's different and kind of cool. And then the other thing about it is, like, there's a big, huge chunk of the game that's like, if you're a net runner, and they basically talk about the internet before it existed, and for them it's like the people who run the net like plug into it and can travel to different parts of the world instantly, and they're stealing data and coming back and doing stuff. And there's actually a game to stealing data where you use a map, and certain tiles on the map are like a puzzle for you to get through. And if if you mess it up, and there's other living beings that are in the net there with you and who will try and fight you, either like it's the security team for whatever you're trying to steal, or it's just other net runners and stuff like that. It's a very interesting idea. Like I'm definitely into that. So I'm gonna read the rest of it. Like I say, I got the book to just so that when we start playing the video game, I can be like, oh yeah, these are the skills. That makes sense. I already know them, sort of thing, and just see the cool ways that it compares to the game, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was based off of William Gibson's Neuromancer, because I think they use a lot of that stuff for cyberpunk mythology and all that. But they have a new cyberpunk coming out in December, a new TTRPG called Cyberpunk Red, and I'm sure it's going to be updated.
Today's standards. Right. Totally. All right. That's our week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hey!
We're back.
I forgot what we were supposed to do.
Number 5. R.I.P.
Rip.
Steve Ditko.
Yep.
Co-creator of Spider-Man and
Doctor Strange.
Rip.
I read some information saying he also designed like a bunch of costumes. Okay, he designed the Iron Man suit, the current one, like the classic red and orange or red and yellow. And there's somebody else that he designed the outfit on. He doesn't really typically get the credit for it, but yeah. Oh, I know what it is. The Hulk. He came up with the idea that the Hulk gets mad to turn into the Hulk.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bruce Banner. Yeah. They didn't know how to do it, and he suggested that idea. He's like, yeah.
Don't make me angry.
Right. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
That's right.
So, yeah, dude was huge. I mean,
yep. Definitely. Pioneer.
Love his art style.
I think we're going to see a lot more of these coming up here in the next couple of years.
Well, totally, man. Yeah. I mean, we also lost Harlan Ellison, which is crazy.
Yep.
Sci-fi writer. So.
Yeah, a lot of what we were into was influenced by guys who invented it in the 50s, right? And yeah, it's getting to be that. It's going to be that time.
That time of year.
Time of year.
Rip Steve.
Rip.
Cool.
Number 4. Jared Leto to star in Spider-Man spin-off Morbius film. Daniel Espinosa to direct.
Are y'all familiar with Morbius?
No.
Yep.
I'm familiar with Morbius, yeah. Is he going to be Morbius?
Yes, he's going to be Morbius.
He could be good at that.
I think he could too.
Yes, I think so also. And he tweeted out a photo, I guess after it was announced, and it was artwork of Morbius with, I think he's going to have the makeup with the nose and everything, which is awesome.
Well, hopefully use makeup and not CG. Because makeup looks a lot better.
Right, and it's Sony, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at Universe. Excuse me.
Again, though, and so they're committing to this like villain offshoot films, like
universe.
Yeah, Spidey
The villain
universe. Right?
Yeah.
And
Except didn't the Silver Saber one get canceled? Didn't we cover that, or was that just a voting topic? Like,
I think it did get canceled.
But that was
Black
it was
Cat.
I thought it
Black
was
Cat
just-
and Silver Saber was like canceled, and that was supposed to be part of that.
Right. Yeah. So I think they're still coming up with them. To me, I'd
rather see the two of them than Morbius, to tell you the truth.
I just don't understand why you don't just do Spider-Man movies and have these people be in them.
Yeah.
But if they're good, then I don't care. We'll see what happens.
See, I actually
Let it play out.
My differing point there is that the Spider-Man villains particularly are really awesome, and they have really good stories. They can hold their own weight.
They're
Now,
almost
they can
equal
also
to
be
the Batman villains, as far as like
yeah,
single
totally.
hero with great villains. The two of them are the top two. for sure.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you need to have Spider-Man in there every single time because there's just too many movies to try to flesh out all these other great characters. That being said, they could be awful. I mean, they could be, they have a potential to be really bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
Well, see, that's the weird thing that with doing a villain major movie, Vice, the superhero fighting that villain, it's a weird way to approach it.
Yeah. He's sort of an anti-hero-ish. He's not always a straight bad guy. Morbius.
Yeah, no, he's been good.
Yeah. So.
See, Venom's a bad guy.
That's true.
Well, not anymore. He's been good the last
Because
few
the
years.
symbiotes.
Symbiotes took over. Yeah.
Yep.
Symbiote out.
Oh,
Number 3,
that's right.
The
Drum roll.
Witcher TTRPG announced. So, is that
Awesome.
are we talking just straight up D&D style? You get a
Yes.
book?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's correct. And
Yeah,
you know who
that's
did
tough.
it, huh?
Who
No.
did it? I remember. I didn't read. I read
People
it. But
who made Cyberpunk 2020.
Oh, that's right.
How crazy is
Yeah.
that?
So that and Cyberpunk Red are going to come out close to the same time. If they're good, then awesome.
Man, I would love that to play in that world. TTRPG. I mean, I don't have enough time, fucking, to do anything. But
Right.
just in
Is
theory,
there
in
a
my
chance
head.
to get with Trish still, you think?
Oh,
There's
I didn't
always
even
a
think
chance.
about that aspect.
It's some homebrew.
Corey will have to run that game.
and then Geralt comes and kills you.
Yeah.
The next
Well,
stage
it's the
turn.
boss. Geralt's the big baddie.
How many people are going to try and make Geralt as their main?
I feel like
Yeah,
you
I mean,
can't be Geralt.
No, you can't.
Yeah, it's
You could
just
be a
gotta be
witch.
in that world.
Yeah, you
You
gotta
could be
be
a Witcher.
You're
Witcher.
gonna
You
be
could
a
be a
witcher.
witch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so
You
many.
could
I would
be
be
a
that.
sorceress, or you could be. There's other shit.
There's a lot
I'd
of
be a
stuff.
dwarf.
That dude with the scar across his face, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, a bard will be in there.
Yeah.
You could be a vampire, but you could be a vampire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
it
that
would
would
be,
be awesome.
really cool. I would be totally down with it.
Yeah, totally.
Number 2, Gideon Falls, after 4 issues, is going to be adapted to TV by Hive Mind. They've made some other decent stuff. I don't remember any of it, but I looked it up. And
They're
Yeah.
also the ones making the Witcher show.
Yep. On Netflix.
Oh, okay. I
don't
bet
think
you he
it-
was planning this from the beginning.
All this stuff is connected together.
yeah, it's
We
weird.
just went across 3 different mediums and connected those bunch of franchises together.
That is crazy.
So now
Your
connected
God
to Kevin
exists.
Bacon. We got to connect it to Kevin Bacon.
no, connected to Google.
Connected to Google.
They probably are. Number 1, Google reportedly jumping into gaming business.
Wow, we've just
There.
covered the whole gamut now.
So, did you guys
Supposedly
hear
making this
about this?
console with this streaming technology that hosts the processing power on their servers, and somehow
Yes.
you stream.
Yeah, they're saying that potentially
they said you
can
could
open
stream The Witcher on a tab of Google Chrome.
Yeah, right, or in a Chromebook or something
Yeah.
that has garbage computing power.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they're going to
Sounds
rely
good.
on the server, and then Google, because they have so many data centers around the world, you'll always be able to connect to that local server to reduce your lag and load times. But, I mean, it's interesting. I read this whole article. In fact, I was going to write, I wrote a mini summary because I was going to use it for homework, and then I just deleted it because it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So I read the shit out of it, and the only thing that comes to mind is Google loves to do this. Google loves to throw money at these projects.
See what sticks.
Google Glass.
And
Yeah,
then it falls
exactly.
apart. Google Glass was one of them. The Google Wallet was another one.
Yeah.
They do all these projects, and you think, oh, Google's
Nobody
great.
uses that Google Wallet.
It changed. They never
Don't people
got
use
it.
the iPay or whatever?
Here's the thing: is what happened is Google and Android, they launched their NFC, which is like what you see with Apple Pay.
Right.
So when NFC
And
technology
Amiibos.
and Amiibos, and when NFC was coming out, Android was using it years before Apple jumped on board, and so they sit there and worked out all the bugs and everything like that. And then Apple's like, "Great, now we're going to launch our product that you did all the work," and they made it better.
Yeah.
But Google Wallet had it where you could just, basically electronically have all your credit cards in a wallet, and you could select which one you wanted to pay from.
I feel like places. Am I wrong that places that accept Apple Pay don't accept Google Wallet now?
Yeah,
Wouldn't they accept both?
not necessarily because it's different. You have iOS
Fuck
for
Apple,
Apple.
dude.
It's different than, but it's
Yeah,
easier.
agreed.
But see, Apple's been smart by selling all their software into these smaller businesses and these larger corporations. It's easier to integrate on their servers, and so that's why a lot of people jump on board because they look at it as easier. And Apple probably maintains them, so they don't even have to worry about having IT staff to support it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Google,
Back to the Google thing. If you were reading about it, they hired what's his name? Phil
Harrison.
Spencer.
Phil Harrison.
Spencer.
Harrison.
Pretty sure it's
Spencer Harrison or
Pretty
Phil?
Will
sure.
Spencer is from IGN.
I don't know.
Pretty
I'm
sure it's Phil
Spencer.
Harrison because I wrote a paper on it.
We'll research it. Look in the comments. Anyways, he was the head of PlayStation for like 5 years, and then the head of Xbox for 5 years.
Yep.
And then they bought up a bunch
Phil
of studios.
Spencer. If
Phil
that's
Spencer.
who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Correct.
No,
What did I
Harrison
say?
is wrong.
I said Phil Spencer, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Just making sure. I'm also undefeated in Mario Tennis. If you didn't know.
Oh,
But
you're so fucking cool, dude.
So they got him, and then they bought a bunch of studios. So the money that they're throwing at it, like they're going to come out with this thing. All of a sudden, they're going to announce this, and there's going to be a choice with all these games along with it. So it'll be interesting to see how it does. This Atari thing that's coming out right now, you just know that that's a piece of garbage right off the bat. It's the
Right.
next
I have
Ouya.
zero interest.
it's
Yeah,
Phil
it's the next
Harrison.
Ouya. What's that?
Phil Spencer.
Google wants to make a splash. In January 2018, the company hired Phil Harrison, the veteran video game exec who spent long since at Sony and Microsoft as a top manager on the PlayStation and Xbox.
It's both names.
It's in fucking black
Idiots.
and white.
I'm Googling Phil
Both
Spencer.
names. Look early in the article. They use both names.
That's funny. But yeah, we'll see. This will be an interesting thing when it comes out. I mean,
If it comes out, yeah.
It says they've also been on a massive hiring spree,
Yeah.
Phil
bringing in
Spencer's just Xbox.
experienced video game developers and marketers from EA, PlayStation, and other top companies.
Well, you know why they got the EA folks is so they're like, look at all these microtransactions you can do.
Yep.
And this is how you'll do loot boxes. It'll be great.
I mean, we'll see. Look, Google doesn't care one way or the other. If
I
it's
ain't buying no
successful.
Google fucking gaming machine.
I'm not
well, that's the
Google.
point. There wouldn't
Fuck
be
that.
a Google gaming machine.
You'd open it in Chrome.
You'll just subscribe to their service and open it up in Chrome and
And
be able to
then
play
what?
The Witcher on your phone, your tablet, your computer, your TV.
Okay, I might buy that.
Could be cool.
Right. And they have saves across all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
And then because Google owns YouTube, then you could sit there and
Yeah.
be playing, and maybe if you die like so many times, it's like, hey, we found this great walkthrough video on YouTube and pull it up on
Well,
your screen.
The Let's Plays would be seamless.
yeah, I
mean,
like out of that.
The Let's Plays, the
Would be
streamings would be
seamless,
nice.
completely.
Yep.
You know.
Totally.
Hey,
Totes.
one more quick thing since we breezed over it. Gideon Falls, are y'all going to watch it at all?
Yeah, I'll give it a
Yeah,
shot.
check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I like the comic
What do you-
book, so
Yeah, what platform you think? Is it Netflix, Hulu,
probably Netflix.
Amazon
Whatever it
Prime?
takes. uTorrent.
The Hive Mind is the company that's making it.
Yeah.
If you look
Yeah.
at them up, they put things on lots of different channels and outlets and stuff. So it
I think
really
Prime's
could go
gonna
anywhere.
for it.
Yeah, really could.
Sweet.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right.
That was your news of the week.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are here with Nancy K. Duplechain. She's the author of
In
the
house.
Dark Trilogy. Also, fellow resident of my hometown in Ville Platte. Nancy's Dark Trilogy consists of her first book, Dark Bayou, which was published in 2011, followed by Dark Carnival in 2012, and Dark Legacy concluded the series in 2014. She currently resides in Ville Platte, where she's working, I believe, on a young adult fantasy novel. Is that correct, Nancy?
Right. Yes. Almost done with that one.
Nice. So, yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your current project, and what brings you here.
I'd say even like a intro for the old project too, for people who don't know about
Right.
it.
Right.
Okay.
I'd like to know more about it.
So Derek just gave you guys a breakdown of my original books, the Dark Trilogy, Dark Bayou. Look, I'm going to show you guys a little picture if I can right here. I don't know how to flip the camera on Skype, but if you guys can see.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so that's Dark Bayou.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show you over here. This is that's Dark Carnival. That's the second book in the series.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And then over here we have the third and final book in the trilogy, Dark Legacy. And it is a true trilogy. It's not a Douglas Adams trilogy. There are going to be two more. Any Douglas Adams fans out there?
You don't own a hard copy of the first one?
Yeah, I do, but I'm sold out of those right now.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well,
That's a
that's
good
always
problem.
a good thing to have.
Yeah.
You can get them on hardcover, paperback, or on Nook. And right now they're actually exclusively on Nook for digital, if you want to get them from there. If you want to get them online for paperback and hardcover, it's a lot cheaper to get them on lulu.com. That's LULU.com. Because if you try Amazon, they jack up the price too much for hardcover and paperback.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We'll definitely put a link to that in the description of the video for anybody who's
Awesome.
interested. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Dark Trilogy takes place in the Lafayette, Abbeville areas of Louisiana. It's, if you're familiar with traiteurs, that's the faith healers, but it deals with that. It deals with voodoo and witchcraft and little hauntings, all kind of this great stuff that Louisiana has. It's
Yep.
set in modern day. So it goes through all of that battle of, light and dark, good and evil, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Hey, real quick, you're in KVPI, right?
How did you know?
Just if you want to break down for anybody, I used to work at KVPI. That's a radio station.
Where?
As a radio station. Yeah, so that's where she's at right now.
Yes, I
broadcasting.
work here again. I have worked here off and on since 1995. This was my very first job in high school, and I've been working off and on throughout the years ever since 95. So I've been in radio a long time. So we're Classic Hits 92.5 KVPI, and I'm on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You guys can hit me up with a request. Request line is 337-506-2444. And we're
Awesome.
moving from the 60s through the 90s. Derek, we actually play Nirvana now.
That's
Oh,
crazy. That's nuts.
Is that
Oldies.
classic
I know.
rock now? It's oldies?
Yeah.
That makes me
Classic
feel
rock.
old.
Classic hits, so we play Aretha Franklin to Nirvana, so everything in
Did
between.
Mark Lane approve that, or?
Yes, it was. Yeah, slowly but surely, I think people wore him down enough that it's
Wow.
But he still doesn't like Nirvana that much. But he's happy with the Backstreet Boys and Celine Dion. But
Oh,
Hello
come
Pearl
on.
Jam is going to kind of, get him
This is-
undone a little bit.
This is getting wild.
Yeah, so I'm over here at the radio station doing my interview because it was the only quiet place I could find.
Oh, totally understandable. I used to go there after hours all the time too.
Oh yeah.
Other stuff, but
That explains
anyway.
Oh, you're at the radio station now?
Yeah, I'm at the radio station now, and on the air
Nice.
I'm DJ Nancy K.
DJ Nancy
DJ Nancy K. Just because Duplechain has too many syllables for radio.
Yeah.
K.
Totally.
You might lose half your audience.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
yeah, and to answer your other question, I'm working on a young adult fantasy novel right now. The Black U, that's YEW. That's just the working title, but it's about this tree that's the last portal in all this world, and these kids have to go and rescue one of them's little brother who was taken from the Earth realm, and it's like a 7-book series, and I'm almost finished with book 1. Dirk is doing the artwork for it. He is a hell of an artist. He's already presented some sketches, and it's just phenomenal. So he's doing the cover art and the sketches. He's awesome, you guys.
Still
And
working on it, but
yeah, well, we're collaborating too. So he's also doing, we're writing little stories that we're collaborating and using different, our same little races and the people and the worlds colliding, all that good stuff.
sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll kick off the questions.
Sure.
So I was just wondering, how did you? Oh, Nate's having dog issues.
That's fine.
Okay.
We can skip that.
That's why I'm over here, because
Should we-
my dog. But,
Guess we don't need him for this.
We don't
So how did you start writing? Was this something you went to school for? You always wanted to do, or J.K. Rowling style on napkins?
yes, but-
How'd you come about becoming an author? I guess.
Okay, well, the absolute true answer that I can give to that is because I really hated math in school, and I would write short stories in between, because I could not pay attention in math class, so I'd write short stories, and I just kind of kept it going from there. And it worked out because whenever I got to college, I got to skip my first 2 English classes because I scored so well in the English portion of the
Nice.
ACT, but I had to take a remedial math, so it evened out.
I feel your pain. I took remedial math when I went back to school.
So did you go to? What did you make? Did you major in literature then?
Yeah, I did. I was an English and anthropology major, finishing in general studies, but with majors in anthropology and English. And I took mostly literature classes and creative writing and screenplay writing and things like that. Yeah.
The Dark Trilogy was just something you thought up.
Yeah, actually, I started thinking of it in college. I wanted to write a story about a traiteur. And that's treater, but in like the Cajun French and Creole French, we say traiteur. And,
Cajun witch,
so,
basically. Sort of healer
Yeah,
slash
that's-
witch, right?
it's Cajun witch, but with like a Catholic overtone because they do say their prayers. Yeah, so it's kind of through that. So that's when I got the first early inkling of the idea for that. But whenever I moved to California, I was there for a year, from 2008 to 2009. I came back to Louisiana for a vacation to see my family and friends, and my friends were like, hey, let's play tourist and do things we haven't done since we were kids. So we went to the state capitol. I actually never went on a swamp tour, but we took a swamp tour, and then that's when I kind of had the whole idea for Dark Bayou.
Airboat.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my apartment in LA, and I wrote the first draft in like 5 months for Dark Bayou, the first book. Then it was about a year of editing after that.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
Would you recommend self-publication versus shopping for a publisher with submissions?
Okay, I actually was a featured author at the Louisiana State Book Festival for 2 years, in 2011 and again in 2016. And both times I was a panelist for speaking about self-publishing. So there are some
Nice.
really good points about self-publishing, and there are some really bad points about it. Bad points is you're not going to get the publicity that most like your big publishing houses can give you. So really, you have to put in a lot of that publishing work. A lot of that the marketing for yourself.
Right.
Also, you're going to have to go out and find an editor. Do not publish a book without hiring an editor. They are expensive. Let me tell you, I've edited someone's book, and he's actually paid me full editing prices. And but they are very expensive. The first time I wrote Dark Bayou, I couldn't afford an editor. So a friend had this friend who was a teacher, who was a retired teacher, and she's like, well, I'll edit it for like, a couple hundred. And she did a great job, but still, I keep getting these reviews every now and then, like, oh, it's great, but you know what, the grammar could have been a little better, or you know, this didn't exist. So you really have to be careful who you choose. Another good thing about self-publishing, you retain all the rights.
Right.
I had one guy on my panel one year, and he went through the traditional publishing route. Okay, so he was with this publishing company. He sold 10,000 books. He thought that was fantastic, but it wasn't good enough for the publishing house, so they pulled him from the shelves. Well, he wanted to go and sell them, but he couldn't because he didn't really retain the rights anymore. So he had to fight to get his rights back. And then he got them back, and then now he just puts it out himself. So it just depends. I mean, if you're like a really big name and you make it big, then yeah, go through like the traditional publishing house. But if you're just getting started, you might want to consider self-publishing. My books, fortunately, were found by this writer-producer in Hollywood. Her name is Liz Benjamin. She's written on Rizzolian Isles, The Blacklist, 13 Reasons Why, and she found my books. She wanted to make them into a series. So she's been working on that the last few years, trying to. She's optioned it for a TV series or shopping.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it makes it in one day, you know. But it's just she managed to find it through an online blog that someone did about me, about my books.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
So that's how she found the books and read them, and then she loved them. So,
Nice.
That's awesome.
so yeah, it's worth it to self-publish. It really is at first. And if some big publishing house discovers you, then, you know, if you get really big, then yes, switch over to them. But in the beginning, you might want to self-publish. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice. So it looks like the Dark Trilogy is more like a horror fantasy novel.
Yeah.
Did you have any authors that inspired you with your storytelling? Like, who did you read before you started writing?
Whenever I was in elementary and junior high and stuff, I read a lot of Poe.
Okay.
I loved Edgar Allan Poe.
Hell
So
yeah.
that was my early years. Then as my teen years came on, Stephen King. I loved Richard Matheson, Robert Bloch. Robert Bloch, you might remember him from Psycho. That was his big novel. But I actually loved his short stories a lot more. To me, he's my favorite short story author. So I do love a lot of Robert Bloch. And I love Flannery O'Connor. She didn't really write horror. Not straight up horror, but if you've read some of her stories, they're a little bit horrific.
Southern Gothic, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. I was just curious. I just actually wanted to hear more about the trilogy, to be honest. Like, when I was researching before today's show and searching around, I've read a lot of small blurbs about it. But what you just said in a couple minutes when we started this definitely piqued my interest more than what I had been reading. So can you just elaborate a little bit more on the story of it?
Yeah, okay. So it centers around Lee Benoit. She is the main character. So Lee is kind of this little rebel. She wanted to move to California, not unlike myself, you know, move from Louisiana to California. Well, her brother and sister-in-law get into a horrible accident. They die. So she has to come back and take care of her orphan niece, Lila, who's also her godchild. And her grandmother is Clotilde. It's a very famous Cajun name around here, Clotilde. And so she kind of battles with her grandmother a little bit, but then she finds out, wow, there's something going on with my Mama, as she calls her. So what's going on with Mama over here? Where Mama is she's a traitor, but that's already known. But how far this goes throughout their bloodline, she soon comes to find out. So it's a big battle from good and evil. In the second book, we go to New Orleans, where she trains to perfect. Lee trains to perfect her craft. You're dealing with, at this point, the Grigori or the Watcher angels and so forth. And then and you have a little voodoo too. And then you go to the third book. They're in Paris. They're looking for a particular object. And then we go back to Abbeville. And mostly you're battling a lot of witchcraft in that one.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
New Orleans. And, yeah.
Well, that doesn't spoil anything. I mean, the only thing that's spoiled is Lee makes it to 3 books, so she's the main character.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I gotta say, New Orleans and Paris are 2 of my favorite cities on earth. So.
Oh, well, you might like it then.
Sets the stage. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
With the one in Paris, I particularly enjoyed that one because it's going through the catacombs of Paris. So we delve into that.
I went out there.
Yeah, Corey's been there.
Oh, I would love to go, but I've seen too many scary movies about the catacombs.
Cool.
There is
Super
some
cool.
tie in there, like just waiting to grab you. I'll go with a bat or a gun or something.
That is awesome. You got me sold. I'm going to buy these. Because
Awesome. Thank
Get
you.
it,
Yes.
Jeff.
well,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
like
Awesome.
I like dark fantasy, and
I do too.
I don't know.
definitely
I
love to
just
get 'em. Yeah.
I need to read after finishing school in 41 days. I need something else to read besides like managing quality control and all that boring stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
if-
all on Kindle right now, so you can download them all on Kindle.
I
and
like
it's
the physical book.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can get the physical, but get them on Lulu. That's the best place to get them. It's more affordable.
Yeah, I was going to say one more time, Nancy, we do this as a podcast for just audio. If you could repeat the site again where people can go to get them.
Yeah, you can get the Dark Trilogy at lulu.com. That's LULU.com in paperback or hardcover. You can get them on Amazon too. It's a little more expensive on Amazon, but I suggest getting them on Kindle as well for the digital books. Right now they're exclusively on Kindle. I'll probably have them on Nook again at maybe when my little contract expires with KDP Select. If you guys don't know
they're
about
exclusively
KDP
on
Select,
Kindle? You said they were exclusively Nook at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm glad you corrected
That's okay.
that. Yeah, it's on
Kindle's good.
Kindle.
Kindle's
Good
that's
idea.
way better. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, Nook,
It
that's a
is.
little dated.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
Right.
yes. I'm glad you corrected that. Or what's better on Kindle, because Kindle is smart and they could use the app anywhere. Nook just kind of. No, I love my Nook. Don't get me wrong. Like they have.
Right.
I don't have a Nook, but thank you, Nook,
Yeah.
for having my books on there. But,
Yeah.
Yes.
Nook is good that
so
they
they're
carry your
exclusively
book.
on Kindle. They're on Kindle right now. Yeah.
Cool.
I will
Cool.
say this, that Kindle is better than Nook because back when they first released both of them, I bought both of them for Christmas, tried out both of them, and returned the Nook because on the Kindle, when you search for something, it pulls up the book with the cover art. And so it's very visual, just going to the bookstore. With the Nook, the first one had the list of titles, and then a scroll bar at the bottom had the cover art, and it just not even good.
Now, I know most people have access to Kindle, especially through the app with their iPads
Right.
or
Yeah.
their devices or their tablets. So that's what's great about. That's why Kindle's winning, basically, because they have better access, more ease of use, and everything else. So.
Amazon.
Cool. Well,
All
thank
right.
you so much, Nancy.
Yeah,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
coming in.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Man, that was really, really awesome talking with Nancy. Really had a good time.
That was great.
Yep.
Totally. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you for
Nance.
joining us. Definitely. So we came to the part of the show where we try and give the love back. All of those people out there who subscribed to us in the past couple of weeks. What are we up to now, guys? 1630 something?
1632.
Yeah, really awesome. Continue. We say it every week. Continue to be blown away by the support that everybody's given us. A lot of these people also have YouTube channels, so what we like to do is give a shout out to the people who have channels who subscribe to us. We put it in the description of the video. If you're listening to the audio, go over to youtube.com/GCandC. Click the description. All these people's channels will be down there in the description. And if you have one of these channels, this is a great group of active people that are out there making friends, doing the stuff. So click through everybody, sub everybody up, start some conversations with people. It's awesome. Really cool, the people that we've met through doing this. So anyways, it's been a couple weeks. We got a lot. This week I got Black Alaka
Black Alaka Gaming.
Black Alaka Gaming. Brian's Man Cave, Krister C, Jordan S, and Stevie D.
Yep. I got Deconstruction Gaming, Sarah Troop, Fleshberg Fernsheen, Fortnite Addicts, Rye Flawless, and Gaming Gems.
I have MD, Big Red Games, AA Anomaly 876. It Snows in Hell. Bormai, I Am Rob. Ali Wally.
I got to interrupt you.
Yeah.
You can go back to Ali Wally.
I Am Rob.
The I Am Rob. Bormia
Backwards.
is I Am Rob backwards.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mind blown. Ali Wally. Nishi and Brain in a Cat.
I have Shadek, the review guy, Torrance Gamer TG, We Wear Pants,
Mm-hmm.
Demon Slayer, Ryu, Red Panda, and DIY Home Simply.
Yeah.
Word. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Y'all are
The,
having
every
practice
week-
on these names reading, aren't you?
When we every week when we do this, we do a name of the week. It's a coveted award. It'll go down in history for you can put it on your resume. I had the YouTube channel name of the week on Comically Gaming. What do you guys think this week?
It's toughy.
It snows
We
in
Wear
hell.
Pants.
There's some really good ones, but I'm with Corey. We Wear Pants.
We Wear Pants.
What'd you say? It snows in hell?
It snows in hell.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
it snows in hell.
They've got a really cool site. It's horror based.
Man. I gotta say, We Wear Pants.
Oh,
We do.
Wear Pants.
I
Congratulations.
wear shorts. I don't know about this show.
We Wear Pants
I wear
And you.
shorts.
are the name of the week.
All right. Also, we want to thank the new Facebook
Brandon.
Very excited.
member, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. And
Thanks,
the people
Brandon.
on the stream were Jay Garcia, Rab2784, who was up at 3 o'clock in the morning
Finally
watching
met
me.
him. Yep.
And Easy Money 1000 jumped on right as I was getting ready to secure it.
I like
Yeah,
Raz.
he popped in when you had stopped.
He
When
pops
I
in.
saw it, it was
Yeah.
like it was a black screen. Easy Money's like, yo, what up?
I talked to him.
I like Rab. That's the first time I finally met him.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that too.
He's a big fan.
Definitely a good supporter.
Word.
So thank you very much for watching or listening. This has been Comically Gaming, episode 112. Next week, we are going to return to the Comic Book Club with Batman number 50. We're going to talk about the wedding.
Oh, are we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Check
are.
us out online. What the heck? Oh, just
Patreon.com.
Patreon.
Yeah, check out our
slash
Patreon site.
GC.
yeah, we post stuff up there. We would appreciate support if you can do so. It would really help us out move this whole thing forward.
Yep, and find us on Twitter at GCandC. And grab a t-shirt or a sticker at teespring.com/stores/games-comics-and-culture.
Nice.
Wow. And Fred, thank you for the open music, and C for the logo.
Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around. We are going to talk Ant-Man and the Wasp. We are going to talk full spoilers. If you have not seen the movie yet, don't get stung. Check out now.
Yeah,
Go watch
that's
the
how
movie.
You don't want the stinger in you.
Come back and watch this afterwards. So yeah, full spoilers discussion. I talked a little bit with Corey about it. I saw a post that you said about it on the internet, Jeff. What do you think, Jeff?
It was all right. I mean, I think more. I'm a little tired from the oversaturation of a lot of superhero movies in this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot. It was funny, and I like that they kept it light. It just felt really slow in a lot of places. It just felt like they're dragging it out to make it, fit a 2-hour time window, and I didn't like that the whole overall goal of the film was just to save Dr. Pym's
Janet.
wife. Yeah, Janet.
Janet, come the fuck on.
So Corey really liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I liked it the most of the group. It sounds like I thought the whole getting Janet thing was awesome. When they got Janet, I was super hyped. Like that's Janet Pym, Janet Van Dyne, or whatever you want to call her by her maiden name or married name. I mean, that was so cool when they got her. And then I just thought Wasp was a badass, and the way she was shrinking and large and do the crazy fighting moves at the same time was really awesome. And I mean, I thought the comedy was funny.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think it was bad, and I thought him and his daughter were cute. Like he's the only superhero like dad like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I didn't get bored through the middle. Like I don't have anything that says like it wasn't the best movie ever or anything, but I really liked it. I don't know. I thought it was good.
Gotcha. I thought it was good. Also, I think every MCU movie is good. But I thought that this one was just, it was too silly for me. It was a step too far into silliness. The jokes didn't quite hit for me, but I don't hold that against it. It's just, I'm old. I get it. They're not aimed at me, sort of thing. But to me, like the ants just looked so stupid, the big ones. And anytime that Hank Pym and his daughter were standing in front of computers using made-up science words, it just sounded ridiculous.
Can you see my eyes roll?
It just sounded ridiculous every time they're doing
You're
that.
nitpicking.
I'm not nitpicking. I just feel like the action of the movie was the only good part about it. Yeah. I really did enjoy the action scenes. They were super unique, well choreographed. The shrinking, you could,
and enlarging.
Yeah, you could really mail that in, and they nailed it.
Yeah,
like that stuff was fun, but the rest of it was just too silly. I think that it goes down there with Iron Man 3 to me. Did I enjoy myself? Yeah, I did enjoy myself. I was chuckling the whole time, and I liked the action scenes. But ultimately,
I think you went into it with the wrong mentality. Like just from the trailers, I could tell it was like a silly movie. Like it wasn't like. It wasn't like Thor. It wasn't like Black Panther. It's just kind of almost a family comedy or like.
I just think the first one was that too, and they pulled it off much better.
Yeah, I agree. The first one, I think that this one, the trailers sort of killed some of the better jokes that were in the movie in certain ways.
The trailers showed a lot. They showed the final spoilers.
Yeah.
They showed the second credit scene.
See, it was. They did not show that in the trailers.
The ant drumming.
Oh.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, the second. I thought you were talking about the Infinity War spoiler.
That was my favorite part about
the not Infinity. That was the first credit scene.
So let's talk about that real quick.
That was my favorite part.
It was awesome.
That was awesome because they did it so well that countdown. Sort of like when I recorded the show. Countdown, and then there's silence, and then it cuts over and there's just dust. And you could tell everybody in the theater that had watched Infinity Wars knew exactly. All these kids just went crazy. They're like,
me and my kids did.
Oh my God, that's when Thanos snapped his fingers. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I seriously, I couldn't get over the fact that he was just standing there while Thanos was taking over the world, though, before he went into the quantum realm. Like, when they're all hanging out on the bridge or the building or wherever they're at, Thanos is destroying the world. I mean, he has people attacking New York and everywhere, and Ant-Man has to know about that. And he's just standing there talking about going into the quantum realm with fucking Janet and what's his name? Hank.
No, because they set it up. They actually set it up in Infinity War because they specifically talk about where Ant-Man is at the time. And they're like, he's in
house arrest.
Yeah, he's under house arrest. So,
but that wasn't what was happening. That wasn't what was happening in the credit scene. In the credit scene, when he went into the quantum realm to get healing stuff for the Ghost, Thanos was attacking New York and Wakanda at that time.
So, but that means that with him on house arrest,
he wasn't on house arrest.
No, but
not when he was at the end. He wasn't.
Not at the end, but he was so engrossed with this last thing
that's what I said too. Yeah.
He didn't get the call from the Avengers.
Yeah, but Ghost's life is not as important as Thanos attacking the world.
Well, I didn't like Ghost that much either.
Even if that was the case, I still don't agree with it. Like Ghost's life force vial from the quantum realm is going to have to wait while he goes and fights Thanos with the rest of the fucking superheroes.
You're right.
Maybe, because Ghost had more important things to do and hang out with Morpheus from the Matrix. That's what she was doing. And
but overall, I don't know. I feel like this one, it was a good move. It was a good time. Ultimately forgettable. We won't be talking about this 10 years from now like we do with Guardians of the Galaxy and the first Iron Man and all that sort of stuff, Even I like
I'll talk about it like I talked about Ant-Man 1. I'll
What's
talk
that?
about it the same way as I talked about Ant-Man 1.
That Ant-Man 1 was way better.
I did too.
Way better.
I mean,
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
one last point
Just saying.
that I did want to make was I thought the Quantum Realm was a super big miss. I thought that they really could have used that to go super sci-fi with the MCU and make that like a cool connection between different universes and different characters that could come back and forth and stuff. Instead, it was just a place that they had to go to
Yeah.
that Janet was hanging around in and stuff. Like,
when she was there.
That's what
Probably
I've
those
seen the
big
whole
bugs.
goddamn thing the whole time. It's like, how did she live for 30 years without eating?
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
can't just live.
did she go chow down on some dust mites that you saw in the
Maybe.
when you
Yeah,
know?
maybe. Yeah.
But it's like, how did she eat and survive for 30 fucking years? I mean, they could have fixed that loophole real easily with like, well, time doesn't really mean the same thing here. But
Your
then,
body doesn't age or
But then it wouldn't have made sense
function.
because she was,
Her body aged.
her body is like
Yeah.
a motherfucker. And it took me forever to figure out it was Michelle Pfeiffer.
You did?
I couldn't
Really?
figure it out.
I didn't know it was her until I looked it up afterwards.
Until I saw the credits, I'm like, oh,
I don't-
Looks
that's
exactly the
her.
same as she always did.
I don't know her that well. I'm younger than you guys.
It
Jeez.
just didn't. I don't know. It was a funny movie. I will give it that. But there were times when it was slow, and I think it was with Ghost. I didn't like the actress that played Ghost.
You didn't
Who
like
was
either movie
that
she was in this year.
No,
Was she in Thor?
No, she's Tomb Raider.
yeah,
She's Lara.
That was Laura? Ghost was Laura?
yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yes,
I
it
know
was.
she looked more strung out in this one.
Yeah, she's not a great actress.
No, she's not.
She's not.
That's funny.
Sucks. Alicia Van Dalker or whatever?
Yeah.
So, what do you guys give it?
8.
7.
Wow,
Jeff just
what?
gave it a better score than you.
You said it was great, so I went off of that because
I'm going 6.
6.
myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
Better
it was,
than average.
It was great, but
I was gonna say 7.8.
8's top tier.
Is it for you? I was gonna say 7.8, but then I jumped it up to 8 because I anticipated Corey to go higher.
That's awesome. You said you didn't like it. You said you did like it. And you gave it a higher score than
Well, we
him.
have a different ratings.
I know.
scale.
I know. We do. Our rating scale's whack.
It's
It's the
That was
GCandC's
good.
crazy
on a curve.
scale.
It's on
Yeah.
a fucking curve that goes like this.
It's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for
Yep.
being here. Everybody, thanks
Yeah.
for watching. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to go read Batman number 50 before it.
Yeah, and read Sandman number 50 because that was awesome too.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Damn, man.
Sandman.
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 Number 50? Is that a CBBC coming
Yeah,
up?
no, it was.
You missed
You
it.
missed it because Corey.
Oh,
you were
good, because I
Florida.
didn't read it.
Later.
All right, later.
That's it.